Sorry, but we don't serve your kind here. Brad Wilson tears Victoria's reservation printout in half. The pieces drop into the trash bin. Sarah Thompson shoves Victoria's platinum credit card across the marble counter. It skitters to the floor. Her driver's license follows. Kevin Davis steps forward, pointing at the exit doors. Victoria Sterling doesn't move. Designer jeans, white blouse, small purse. Nothing screams money. Nothing demands respect. A guest starts filming. Then another. Whispers ripple through the five-star lobby. Brad crosses his arms. Security will escort you out if needed. Sarah laughs. Some people think plastic cards make them important. Kevin's radio crackles. Front desk needs backup. Victoria finally speaks. Her voice stays calm. Are you absolutely certain about this decision? These real-life stories and black stories still plague America's touching stories of justice. Have you ever been judged so completely that people couldn't see who you really were? Victoria's question hangs in the air like smoke. Brad Wilson's jaw tightens. Ma'am, this is a private establishment. We reserve the right to refuse service. Based on what criteria? Victoria asks. Sarah Thompson picks up the phone. I need to verify this payment method. Some cards. Well, you understand. Other guests watch the drama unfold. A businessman in a $1,000 suit gets immediate service at the next counter. No verification needed, no questions asked. Welcome back, Mr. Patterson, Sarah coos. Your usual penthouse suite? The contrast cuts deep. Victoria notices Amanda Johnson discreetly positioning her phone. The live stream begins. Viewer count, 12 people. Brad leans forward. Look, we have certain standards here. This isn't McDonald's. What standards specifically? Victoria's voice remains level. Kevin Davis adjusts his radio volume. Static fills the silence between words. Well, Brad stumbles, we need to ensure our guests can afford the amenities. The spa treatments alone cost more than most people make in a week. Victoria's purse sits open slightly. A first-class boarding pass peeks out. JFK to LAX. Date, today. But the men don't notice. Sarah returns from her phone call. Sorry, but we're having computer issues with certain accounts. Certain accounts? Victoria repeats. You know what I mean. Sarah's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Tom Anderson approaches from the back office. Regional manager. His tie costs more than most monthly salaries. Is there a problem here? Tom's voice carries authority. Brad straightens. Just explaining our policies, sir. Our policies? Tom glances at Victoria, then back at Brad. Which policies? The ones about maintaining our clientele standards. Tom nods slowly. I see. And these standards are... Sarah jumps in. We need to protect our reputation. Our guests expect a certain environment. Victoria's phone buzzes. She declines the call without looking. The live stream viewer count climbs. 47 people now watching. A white couple approaches the desk. Designer luggage, expensive watches. We don't have a reservation, the woman says, but we're hoping you have availability. Sarah's demeanor transforms instantly. Of course. Let me check our best suites. Within seconds, she produces key cards. No verification, no computer issues, no policies. Victoria observes everything. Her Platinum American Express catches the lobby lighting for just a moment. Amanda Johnson angles her phone better. The comments section explodes. This is disgusting. Call the news. What hotel is this? Share this everywhere. Kevin Davis notices the filming. Ma'am, you can't record in here. Actually, Amanda says, this is a public accommodation. I can record. The tension ratchets higher. Brad's frustration shows. Look, lady, we've been patient. But this hotel serves a specific type of guest. What type? Victoria asks. You know exactly what type. The words hang heavy. No one can pretend this is about money anymore. Sarah whispers something to Tom. He nods grimly. I'm afraid we can't help you today, Tom declares. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at the Holiday Inn down the street. Laughter echoes from behind the desk. Victoria's phone buzzes again. The caller ID shows Board Member Johnson. She declines again. The live stream reaches 156 viewers. Comments flood in faster than Amanda can read them. Ma'am, Kevin says, I think it's time for you to leave. I haven't violated any laws, Victoria responds. Private property means we can ask anyone to leave. Anyone? Anyone we choose. The selective enforcement couldn't be clearer. Brad grows bolder. Some people need to know their place. Their place? You heard me. Victoria pulls out her phone, scrolls through missed calls, 7 from board members, 12 from executive assistants, 3 from legal counsel. She puts the phone away without returning any calls. One final question, Victoria says. Are you familiar with Sterling Hospitality Group's corporate policies? Brad scoffs. Lady, I don't know what game you're playing. Section 12.4 specifically addresses equal treatment standards. Sarah rolls her eyes. You memorized some corporate handbook? The handbook you're required to follow. Tom crosses his arms. We follow all applicable guidelines. All of them? Every single one. Victoria nods slowly. The live stream viewer count hits 312. Amanda Johnson's hand trembles slightly as she films. This feels bigger than a simple hotel dispute. Brad makes his final mistake. Look, sweetie, maybe try the Motel 6. That's more your speed. The word sweetie lands like a slap. Kevin steps closer. Time to go, now. Victoria doesn't move. Her calm presence contrasts sharply with the growing hostility around her. 5 more minutes, she says quietly. 5 minutes for what? Victoria checks her watch. A simple Timex. Nothing flashy. You'll see. The live stream viewer count explodes. 1,247 people watching. More hotel staff emerge from back offices. The concierge straightens his burgundy vest. 2 housekeeping supervisors whisper nervously. A valet attendant abandons his post outside. They form a loose semicircle around Victoria, like wolves circling prey. Ma'am, you need to leave immediately, Tom Anderson repeats, his voice echoing off the marble walls. Amanda Johnson adjusts her phone angle, capturing every face. The comments section moves like a waterfall. Call the police. This is 2025, not 1955. Boycott this hotel. What's the hotel name? Sterling Grand Downtown. Share everywhere. Brad Wilson signals to Kevin Davis with sharp hand gestures. Security, please escort this person out. Escort me where exactly? Victoria's voice cuts through the tension. Off the premises. Now. For what specific violation? Kevin shifts his weight, uncomfortable. Trespassing. I'm a potential customer requesting standard hotel services. We don't serve you. Period. The words echo through the cavernous lobby. A crystal chandelier catches the afternoon light above them. Other guests freeze mid-conversation. A family with twin toddlers stares openly from the elevator bank. Sarah Thompson grows emboldened by the growing crowd. Her voice rises with confidence. Some people think they can force their way into places they clearly don't belong. An elderly white woman in a mink coat approaches the desk, designer handbag clutched tightly. Excuse me, is there some kind of problem here? Tom immediately transforms. His shoulders relax. His voice becomes silk. No problem whatsoever, Mrs. Patterson. How may we assist you today? I'd like to change my dinner reservation from 7 to 8. Absolutely. Sarah will handle that immediately. Sarah springs into action like a wound toy. Warm smile, helpful gestures. Her fingers dance across the computer keyboard. Consider it done, Mrs. Patterson. The usual table by the window? Perfect, dear. The transaction completes in 15 seconds. Victoria observes every micro-expression, every tone shift. Her phone buzzes again. The screen shows, urgent, CEO meeting moved up, 4 p.m. She declines without hesitation. The live stream reaches 2,891 viewers. The number climbs every few seconds. A businessman near the elevators starts recording on his Samsung Galaxy. Then a teenage girl with bright pink hair. A college student with his laptop open. Soon, 6 different cameras capture every angle of the confrontation. Kevin Davis grows visibly nervous, sweat beading on his forehead. Ma'am, all this filming is creating a public disturbance. The disturbance started before any cameras appeared, Amanda Johnson points out, her live stream now reaching 3,445 viewers. Brad's face reddens like a tomato. We have the absolute right to refuse service to anyone. Anyone? Victoria repeats, her voice steady as stone. Anyone we damn well choose. Based on what specific written criteria? We don't have to explain ourselves to you. A hotel guest approaches Brad's counter. Young white man, 20-something, wearing a wrinkled Metallica t-shirt and rubber flip-flops. His backpack looks like it survived several continents. Hey man, do you guys have any rooms available tonight? Brad's entire demeanor shifts like changing weather. Absolutely, sir. Let me check our current availability. His fingers fly across the keyboard with enthusiasm. We have several excellent options. What's your preferred budget range? Maybe $100? I'm pretty broke. No problem at all. I can offer you our standard queen room for $95 plus tax. Great view of the city. The young man pulls out a worn debit card. No verification requested. No computer issues mentioned. No policies cited. The transaction completes in 45 seconds. Victoria watches every detail unfold. The contrast couldn't be sharper if painted in neon. The live stream comments explode in real time. Did everyone just see that? Same exact desk, different treatment. This is literal evidence. Screen record everything. Call the ACLU. Sue them all. Tom Anderson notices the growing crowd of smartphones. Hotel guests form small clusters, all pointing cameras. Everyone needs to clear the lobby area immediately. This is a hotel lobby, Amanda says, her viewer count now at 4,156. People are supposed to congregate here, not when they're creating disruptions and filming our staff. Who exactly is creating the disruption? Tom points directly at Victoria. She is. Obviously. By requesting standard hotel accommodations? By refusing to leave when repeatedly asked? Asked to leave for what legitimate reason? The circular logic hangs in the air like smog. Victoria's phone displays 23 missed calls. She scrolls through mounting notifications. Board emergency meeting, urgent. Press inquiry, respond immediately. Legal review required, discrimination claims, stock price alert, down 3%. Chairman requesting immediate contact. She closes the phone without responding to any. A white Channel 7 action news van pulls up outside the floor-to-ceiling windows. A reporter checks her microphone while a cameraman unloads equipment. Brad notices through the glass. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Sarah's voice hits a higher pitch. Should we call the police right now? For what specific charge? Kevin asks, genuinely confused. I don't know. Loitering, disturbing the peace, something legal sounding. Tom pulls his staff into a tight huddle. Their whispers carry across the marble acoustics. This is spiraling completely out of hand. We need to end this situation now. Maybe just give her a room. Absolutely not. We have standards to maintain. What if corporate finds out? Corporate doesn't need to know. The live stream viewer count hits 5,892. Amanda Johnson's voice provides running commentary. We're witnessing textbook discrimination in real time at this luxury hotel. Staff has systematically refused service to this black woman while serving multiple white customers with zero issues. Victoria checks her simple Timex watch. The hands show 3:52 p.m. 2 more minutes, she says quietly, almost to herself. Brad throws both hands up in exasperation. 2 minutes for what exactly? What are you possibly waiting for? Victoria maintains her silence, eyes focused on something beyond their understanding. Tom Anderson makes an executive decision. Security, call the police immediately, file trespassing charges. Kevin reaches for his radio, then pauses mid-motion. Sir, technically she hasn't committed trespassing. She's standing peacefully in a public accommodation. She's creating a massive disturbance. By standing and speaking politely, by refusing to comply with our requests. But we haven't provided her any legal grounds for those requests. The logic circle tightens like a noose. Outside, the news crew finishes setup. The reporter practices her opening lines. Sarah Thompson's panic becomes visible. They're actually broadcasting this. This is entirely your fault, Brad snaps at Victoria. You obviously called the media. I haven't contacted anyone, Victoria responds with complete honesty. The live stream comments reveal the organic truth. I called Channel 7 myself. Me Too also called Channel 4. Tweeting this to CNN right now. Going viral on TikTok. Social media drives the story's momentum forward. Tom's iPhone rings. Unknown local number. He answers with visible reluctance. Sterling Hospitality, Regional Manager Anderson speaking. His face drains of color as he listens to the voice. Yes, I'm completely aware of the current situation. Yes, she's still here in the lobby. No, we haven't resolved anything. What do you mean? Who exactly is she? He hangs up with trembling fingers. Brad notices Tom's transformed expression. What was that phone call about? Corporate headquarters is asking detailed questions. What kind of questions specifically? About the identity of the woman we're refusing service to. Victoria's phone buzzes one final time. She glances at the caller ID. Chairman of the board, emergency line. This time she answers. Victoria Sterling speaking. The name Victoria Sterling freezes every person in the lobby. Brad Wilson's mouth opens, but no sound emerges. Sarah Thompson's fingers hover motionless above her keyboard. Kevin Davis takes an involuntary step backward. Tom Anderson's face goes white as hospital sheets. Did she just say Sterling? Sarah whispers. Victoria continues her phone conversation, her voice carrying clearly across the marble expanse. Yes, I'm aware the board meeting moved to 4 o'clock. No, I won't be attending remotely, because I'm currently conducting field research. Amanda Johnson's live stream viewer count explodes. 8,234 people watching. The comments section becomes a blur. Sterling? Like the hotel chain? No way. Plot twist of the century. Is she the owner? This can't be real. Victoria ends her call and places the phone in her purse. The silence stretches like piano wire. Brad finds his voice first. Sterling is... That's just a coincidence, right? Victoria reaches into her leather portfolio. Her movements are deliberate, calm. She withdraws a single document and places it on the marble counter. The paper lands with the weight of destiny. Tom Anderson leans forward to read. His eyes scan the letterhead, the legal text, the signature lines. His face transforms through several stages of horror. Corporate Ownership Certificate, he reads aloud, his voice barely audible. Sterling Hospitality Group Incorporated, 127 properties across 15 states. Sarah snatches the document. Her hands shake as she reads. Annual revenue, $2.8 billion. Primary shareholder and chief executive officer. Her voice cracks. Victoria Ann Sterling. The document continues. Founded 1998. Headquarters, Manhattan, New York. Board Chairman, Victoria A. Sterling. Kevin Davis staggers backward until he hits a marble pillar. Brad's legs give out. He grabs the counter for support. You own Sterling Hospitality Group, Victoria confirms quietly. Including this hotel. The Sterling Grand Downtown, property number 43 in our portfolio. The live stream explodes. Amanda Johnson can barely keep up with the flood of viewers. 12,847 people watching. Then 15,000. The number climbs every second. Comments stream past in real time. She owns the hotel chain. They just discriminated against their boss. Best plot twist ever. They're all fired. Justice incoming. Tom Anderson's mind races through every corporate memo he's ever received, every email signature he's ignored, every policy manual gathering dust in his office. The signature. He recognizes it now. The elegant V. Sterling at the bottom of every major announcement. Ma'am, we didn't... How could we have known... Victoria's expression remains neutral. Known what, exactly? That you're... the owner? Would that have changed your behavior? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Sarah Thompson starts crying, actual tears streaming down her cheeks. I didn't mean... I was just following. Following what policy? Victoria asks. I don't know. I thought... Brad said... Brad Wilson looks like he might vomit. His face has gone green around the edges. Ms. Sterling, please, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? We assumed. You assumed what? Brad can't finish the sentence. The words would damn him completely. Victoria's phone buzzes with text messages. She glances at the screen. CNN wants comment on viral video. Board demanding immediate response. Legal team standing by. Stock price down 7%. She doesn't respond to any of them. Kevin Davis finally speaks. Ma'am, we're so sorry. If we had known who you were. But you didn't know, Victoria says. So you treated me based on what you saw. We made a mistake. What kind of mistake? Kevin can't answer. The truth would destroy him. Tom Anderson tries damage control. Ms. Sterling, perhaps we could discuss this privately in my office. Why privately? To resolve this misunderstanding without further complications. Victoria glances at the cameras, the live stream, the growing crowd. What complications? Outside, 2 more news vans arrive. Channel 4, Channel 11. Reporters rush toward the entrance with camera crews. The lobby fills with more guests. Word spreads through the hotel like wildfire. Housekeeping staff emerge from service elevators. Restaurant workers peer around corners. Everyone wants to witness the aftermath. Amanda Johnson's viewer count hits 18,456. Her phone battery shows 15% remaining, but she keeps filming. This is incredible, she narrates. The woman they discriminated against owns the entire hotel chain. Victoria reaches into her portfolio again. She produces a second document. Today's schedule, she announces, reading from the paper. Sterling Hospitality Group Mystery Shopper Program. Phase 1 implementation. All properties. All departments. Tom's eyes widen in horror. Mystery shopper? Unannounced evaluations of service quality and adherence to corporate anti-discrimination policies. Brad realizes the devastating truth. You were testing us. I was experiencing your standard service protocol. Sarah wipes her tears with her sleeve. Please, Ms. Sterling, we can explain. Explain what exactly? How we... But there is no explanation, no justification, no excuse that makes sense. Victoria checks her watch. The simple Timex shows 3:57 p.m. 3 minutes until the board meeting, she says. Tom's phone starts ringing, then Sarah's, then Brad's, all at the same time. Corporate headquarters has seen the live stream. Kevin Davis removes his security badge and sets it on the counter. I'll resign immediately. Don't resign yet, Victoria says quietly. Ma'am? I haven't finished evaluating your performance. The words chill everyone within earshot. Victoria hasn't revealed her final card yet, the secret that will determine everyone's fate. The mystery shopper program was just the beginning. Victoria's phone rings again. This time she answers immediately, her finger hitting the speakerphone button. Put me through to the emergency board session, she commands. The marble lobby transforms into an impromptu corporate boardroom. Her voice carries to every corner, reaching dozens of witnesses and thousands of live stream viewers. Good afternoon, board members. I'm calling from Sterling Grand downtown, property number 43. A familiar voice responds through the speaker, crisp and authoritative. Victoria, we've been monitoring the live stream situation. What's your current assessment? I'm conducting the quarterly discrimination evaluation we discussed during our January strategic planning session. Tom Anderson's face drains of remaining color. The quarterly assessment. The mandatory testing program he'd completely forgotten about in his daily operations. Victoria continues with clinical precision. I have comprehensive data to present to the board. She opens her leather portfolio wider, retrieving a thick manila folder stuffed with documents, charts, and statistical analyses. Discrimination complaints filed across all Sterling hospitality properties, up 340% this quarter compared to the same period last year. The board member's voice sharpens with concern. 340% increase? Confirmed. Revenue loss directly attributed to reputation damage and social media backlash. $12 million in measurable impact. Brad Wilson's knuckles turn white as he grips the marble counter. $12 million represents serious corporate consequences. Legal liability exposure from pending discrimination lawsuits across 15 states. $50 million in potential settlements and judgments. Sarah Thompson's breathing becomes rapid and shallow. $50 million could bankrupt smaller hotel chains. Stock price impact analysis. 15% decline in our hospitality sector rating over the past 6 months. Investor confidence dropping measurably. The live stream viewer count explodes to 28,934 people. Amanda Johnson's phone battery shows 6% remaining, but she continues documenting this corporate meltdown in real time. Victoria's voice maintains its steady, boardroom professional tone. These metrics indicate comprehensive systemic failure requiring immediate executive intervention. Tom Anderson attempts to regain control. Ms. Sterling, perhaps we should move this discussion to a private conference room where we can... Victoria raises one hand. Tom falls silent like a scolded child. Today's field evaluation confirms the statistical pattern we've been tracking. 4 staff members, including 1 regional manager, engaged in textbook discriminatory practices. She reads directly from her handwritten notes. Documented verbal statements included, "We don't serve your kind here. People like you can't afford our rooms. Some people need to know their place, and this isn't McDonald's." The board member's voice turns gravely serious. Those exact statements were recorded, captured on multiple independent devices, witnessed by approximately 40 hotel guests, live streamed to over 28,000 active viewers and growing. Kevin Davis studies his security boots like they contain the secrets of the universe. Victoria flips to a detailed analysis page. Physical discriminatory actions documented include deliberately destroying customer reservation documents, forcibly throwing credit cards onto the floor, threatening false trespassing charges, and intimidating security positioning. All actions completely documented, comprehensively recorded from multiple camera angles. She moves to her comparative analysis section. Service delivery comparison study. White customers during the same 30-minute period received immediate, enthusiastic assistance. 0 verification procedures required. 0 computer system issues reported. Average transaction completion time, 47 seconds. Brad's shirt shows visible sweat stains under his arms. In direct contrast, the black customer myself experienced outright service refusal, invasive payment verification demands, fabricated computer system problems, and citations of non-existent company policies. The mathematical precision makes denial impossible. The pattern couldn't be clearer if highlighted in neon. Tom Anderson makes another desperate attempt at damage control. Esteemed board members, I want to emphasize strongly that today's incidents don't represent our company's typical service standards or... Mr. Anderson, Victoria interrupts with ice in her voice, you personally endorsed and amplified every single discriminatory action taken by your staff. I was attempting to support my team members during what seemed like a difficult customer service situation. You specifically told me to try the Holiday Inn down the street because it would be more my speed. The silence stretches like broken glass. Victoria addresses the speakerphone with executive authority. I'm implementing immediate corrective measures under Section 15 of our corporate charter. Section 15 Protocols. Emergency executive powers during civil rights violation crises that threaten company integrity and stockholder value. She produces yet another legal document from her seemingly endless portfolio. Corporate Charter, Section 15.3. Chief Executive Officer granted autonomous authority to terminate employment and implement emergency policy changes when civil rights violations create imminent legal, financial, or reputational threats to Sterling Hospitality Group. Tom's phone buzzes aggressively with an incoming text message. Pack office immediately. Security escort en route. Do not remove company property. Victoria's ultimatum arrives with surgical precision. Each of you faces 2 distinct choices. Option 1. Submit immediate resignation letters with standard severance packages and neutral employment references. And option 2? Brad asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Termination for cause with comprehensive consequences. What kind of consequences? Victoria reads from her legal notes. Permanent industry blacklisting across all hospitality sectors. Personal civil liability and federal discrimination lawsuits. 0 severance compensation. 0 professional references. Forfeiture of all pension benefits and health insurance coverage. Sarah Thompson's sobbing intensifies to the point where other guests stare with concern. Victoria continues the legal bombardment. Termination for cause also includes ineligibility for unemployment benefits, potential criminal civil rights violation charges, and permanent notation in your employment records. The consequences hit them like successive hammer blows to the chest. Decision required immediately. Brad Wilson removes his sterling name tag and places it on the marble counter with shaking fingers. I submit my resignation, effective immediately. Sarah Thompson follows his lead, fumbling with her employee identification badge. I resign as well, effective immediately. Kevin Davis had already surrendered his security credentials earlier. Tom Anderson hesitates, clearly calculating his limited options. Ms. Sterling, please consider my situation. I have a family depending on me, a substantial mortgage, 22 years of dedicated service with this company. You should have considered those factors before systematically violating civil rights in my presence. Please understand, I believed I was following established, if unwritten, operational policies. Describe these unwritten policies specifically. Tom realizes the trap immediately. Any honest answer admits to institutional racism. The board member's voice returns with finality. Tom Anderson, your resignation is accepted under company policy. Security personnel will provide immediate escort from the premises. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, everyone watches 3 professional security guards stride purposefully from the parking garage toward the main entrance. Victoria addresses the speakerphone with systematic efficiency. Initiating comprehensive systemic reform implementation. She reads from a meticulously prepared action plan. Reform Point 1. Real-time bias monitoring application deployment. Artificial intelligence analysis of all customer service interactions across every property. The sophisticated technology already exists. Victoria had personally approved its development and testing 6 months earlier. Reform Point 2. Mandatory monthly mystery shopper evaluation program. Diverse assessment teams across all 127 properties nationwide. Amanda Johnson's live stream captures every reform announcement. 31,847 viewers witness corporate transformation in real time. Reform Point 3. Quarterly mandatory bias recognition and prevention training. All staff members, all management levels, including regional and corporate executives. Tom Anderson's incoming replacement will complete this training before assuming duties. Reform Point 4. Advanced guest feedback algorithm system. Automatic detection and flagging of discrimination pattern indicators. The algorithm will identify problems before they escalate into federal lawsuits. Reform Point 5. Executive Diversity Oversight Committee. Diverse leadership reviewing all policies weekly with veto authority. No more tolerance for unspoken policies or institutional discrimination. Victoria closes her comprehensive folder. Total implementation costs estimated at $2.7 million annually. The board member responds without hesitation. Approved unanimously by emergency vote. Legal compliance team standing by for immediate civil rights audit. Standing by with federal consultation. Human resources prepared for company-wide policy distribution and training implementation. Fully prepared for immediate deployment. Outside the hotel, news crews continue multiplying. Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel 11, CNN regional affiliate, Fox Business Network. The story has achieved national media attention. Victoria addresses Tom Anderson with cold professionalism. Your replacement, Regional Manager Jennifer Williams from our Seattle property, begins Monday morning. Tom nods with defeated acceptance. Jennifer Williams is a black woman with 15 years of exemplary service. The symbolism cuts deep and intentional. Brad Wilson methodically gathers his minimal personal possessions from behind the reception counter. A ceramic coffee mug reading "World's Best Dad," a small succulent plant, a framed family photograph. Sarah Thompson can barely navigate through her tears to collect her belongings. Kevin Davis walks toward the main exit, shoulders completely slumped in defeat. Victoria speaks to the speakerphone one final time. Emergency board meeting officially adjourned. Crisis management protocols fully activated. Implementation begins immediately. She ends the conference call with decisive finality. The hotel lobby fills rapidly with incoming replacement staff members. Fresh faces, diverse faces, arriving for emergency coverage shifts. Amanda Johnson's phone battery finally hits 0%. She addresses her viewers one last time. In under 1 hour, we witnessed an entire hotel management team replaced after discriminating against their own CEO. This is corporate justice. The live stream ends as her phone dies, but the documentation continues on dozens of other devices. The transformation has only just begun. The security guards arrive precisely on schedule. 3 professionals in navy blazers escort Tom Anderson, Brad Wilson, and Sarah Thompson toward the exit. Kevin Davis had already left voluntarily. his security badge abandoned on the marble counter like a surrendered weapon. Victoria watches the procession with calm satisfaction. Justice served swiftly, professionally, without emotion. Amanda Johnson's phone battery died, but 12 other guests continue filming. The story spreads across social media platforms like wildfire. Within 15 minutes, the lobby transforms completely. Jennifer Williams arrives from Seattle, her flight having been expedited by corporate emergency protocols. Tall, confident, with 20 years of hospitality experience, she commands immediate respect. "Ms. Sterling," Jennifer says, extending her hand, "I flew out immediately after receiving the board's call. Thank you for the rapid response. Current situation assessment?" Jennifer surveys the lobby, the lingering crowd, the news crews visible through the windows. "Full damage control mode, staff replacement priority 1. Customer confidence restoration priority 2. Victoria nods approvingly. This is why Jennifer earned her regional promotion. The new front desk team arrives next. Marcus Thompson from the Nashville property, Angela Davis from Chicago, Roberto Martinez from Phoenix, all highly rated, all diverse, all thoroughly trained in anti-discrimination protocols. Marcus immediately begins system diagnostics, checking reservation backlog, payment processing, guest complaints. Angela reviews the day's incidents with legal documentation requirements. Every discriminatory action needs formal reporting for the federal compliance audit. Roberto coordinates with housekeeping to ensure smooth operations during the transition. The efficiency impresses even Victoria. Her management training programs work exactly as designed. Meanwhile, the terminated employees face immediate consequences. Brad Wilson's industry blacklisting goes into effect within hours. The Hotel Management Association receives official notification. His name enters the national database of employees terminated for discrimination. Future employment in hospitality, impossible. Sarah Thompson discovers her professional references have been updated to reflect termination for cause, civil rights violations. Her attempts to find similar work will prove futile. Kevin Davis faces suspension of his security license pending state investigation. His career in any customer-facing role effectively ends. Tom Anderson's 22-year career concludes with a destroyed reputation and forfeited pension benefits. The personal costs mount quickly, but Victoria focuses on systematic change, not individual punishment. Jennifer Williams calls an emergency staff meeting in the hotel's conference room. 43 employees attend. Housekeeping, maintenance, restaurant staff, concierge services, valet parking. Today marks a new era for this property, Jennifer announces. We're implementing comprehensive anti-discrimination measures. She distributes tablets containing the new bias monitoring application. This software analyzes every customer interaction in real time. Voice tone, word choice, service timing, even facial expressions during video calls. The technology seems almost science fiction, but it works. Beta testing across 5 properties showed 89% reduction in discrimination complaints. The system flags potential bias immediately. Managers receive instant alerts. Corrective action happens within minutes, not weeks. The staff examines the interface. Color-coded warnings, automatic documentation, pattern recognition algorithms. Questions about the technology. Marcus raises his hand. What happens if the system flags us incorrectly? Built-in appeal process. Human review within 24 hours. False positives get removed from records immediately. Angela asks, how does it handle cultural differences in communication styles? Machine learning adaptation. The system studies regional speech patterns, cultural norms, language variations. It learns continuously. Roberto inquires, what about guest privacy concerns? Audio analysis only, no recording. Visual analysis for body language, no image storage. Fully GDPR compliant. The questions demonstrate genuine engagement, not resistance. Next comes the mystery shopper program implementation. Victoria personally designed the evaluation criteria. Teams of trained assessors will visit unannounced. Different ages, ethnicities, economic backgrounds, physical abilities. Every property receives monthly evaluation, Jennifer explains. Assessors book rooms, use facilities, interact with all departments. The evaluation metrics include service speed, staff courtesy, policy adherence, accommodation quality, and bias indicators. Failing properties receive immediate intervention, management coaching, additional training, staff adjustments as needed. Success gets rewarded. Failing properties face serious consequences. The mandatory training program launches immediately. All Sterling Hospitality employees will complete quarterly bias recognition modules. Interactive scenarios, real-world case studies, legal requirement education. Training isn't punishment, Jennifer emphasizes. It's professional development. Better service skills benefit everyone. The curriculum covers unconscious bias, cultural competency, conflict de-escalation, and legal compliance. Completion becomes mandatory for employment continuation. The guest feedback algorithm represents the most sophisticated element. Advanced pattern recognition analyzes online reviews, social media mentions, complaint patterns, and satisfaction surveys. Discrimination indicators trigger automatic investigations. Regional managers receive instant notifications. Corporate oversight activates within hours. No more problems hiding in quarterly reports, Victoria explains to Jennifer privately. Issues surface immediately. The technology prevents situations like today from developing unnoticed. Finally, the Executive Diversity Oversight Committee transforms company governance. 5 senior executives from underrepresented backgrounds will review all policies weekly. Veto power over discriminatory practices. Direct reporting to the board of directors. Traditional corporate structures enable bias, Victoria admits. Diverse leadership prevents groupthink. The committee includes African American, Latino, Asian American, LGBTQ, and disability rights advocates. Real power, not token representation. The media attention intensifies throughout the afternoon. CNN Business runs the story nationally. Hotel CEO fires staff after experiencing discrimination firsthand. The New York Times business section covers the corporate response. Sterling Hospitality implements sweeping anti-bias reforms. Forbes analyzes the financial implications. Discrimination costs companies millions, one CEO's solution. Social media explodes with support and commentary. Hashtag justice served trends worldwide. Hashtag Sterling. Hospitality generates 2.4 million mentions. Number sign corporate accountability reaches viral status. The public relations impact exceeds all expectations. Stock prices initially dropped 7% during the crisis. By market close, Sterling Hospitality had recovered 3%. Investor confidence returns as reform announcements spread. Discrimination lawsuit risk decreased substantially, financial analysts note. Proactive measures protect shareholder value. The comprehensive reforms cost $2.7 million annually. Potential lawsuit settlements could have reached $50 million. The mathematics favors justice. Customer bookings initially declined as news broke. Within 6 hours, reservations surged 23% above normal levels. Travelers want to support companies that take discrimination seriously, marketing research confirms. The Sterling Grand Downtown specifically sees immediate benefits. Online reviews flip from negative to overwhelmingly positive within hours. Finally, a hotel that practices what it preaches. Booking here specifically because of their response. This is how companies should handle discrimination. Revenue projections improve dramatically. Victoria's personal reputation transforms from crisis to triumph. Business publications request interviews. Civil rights organizations offer endorsements. Corporate leadership conferences extend speaking invitations. She turned a discrimination incident into a teachable moment for entire industries. Harvard Business Review notes. The individual justice delivered swift consequences. The systematic reforms create lasting change. But the most important measurement remains simple. Will this prevent future discrimination? Early indicators suggest yes. The bias monitoring system flags 3 minor incidents during its first week, all resolved immediately with coaching, not termination. Mystery shoppers report consistently excellent service across diverse evaluator demographics. Training completion rates reach 97% company-wide within 30 days. Guest feedback algorithms detect 0 discrimination patterns in the first month. The Oversight Committee approves all existing policies while recommending additional protections. Most significantly, other hotel chains begin implementing similar programs. Marriott announces bias monitoring trials. Hilton expands diversity training requirements. Independent properties join voluntary compliance networks. Industry transformation accelerates beyond Sterling Hospitality's properties. Victoria's personal experience catalyzed systematic change affecting thousands of hotels and millions of travelers. Jennifer Williams settles into her new role efficiently. The Sterling Grand Downtown operates smoothly within 48 hours. Staff morale improves dramatically. Employees appreciate clear guidelines, consistent enforcement, and professional development opportunities. Customer satisfaction scores reach all-time highs within 60 days. The property becomes a flagship example of inclusive hospitality. Victoria's Mystery Shopper program reveals similar success across all 127 properties. Discrimination incidents dropped 94% in the first quarter. The reforms work exactly as designed. But the real test comes from unexpected sources. A disability rights advocate visits the Phoenix property. Exceptional accommodation and service. An elderly black couple books the Miami location. Warm welcome, premium treatment. A same-sex couple celebrates their anniversary at the Chicago hotel. Staff enthusiasm. Perfect service. The true measure of success. Treating every guest with dignity regardless of appearance, background, or assumptions. Victoria Sterling's personal humiliation transformed into corporate revolution. 6 months later, Victoria Sterling stands in the same marble lobby where her journey began. The Sterling Grand Downtown bustles with diverse guests, families of all backgrounds, business travelers from every continent, young couples, elderly visitors. Everyone receives identical excellence. Jennifer Williams approaches with the quarterly report. Discrimination complaints, 0 this quarter. Customer satisfaction, 97.3%. Revenue, up 31% year over year. The numbers tell the story better than words. The bias monitoring system has flagged 247 potential incidents across all properties. Every single one resolved through coaching and additional training. 0 terminations required after the initial cleanup. Prevention works better than punishment, Victoria observes. The Mystery Shopper program has completed 1,524 evaluations. Average score, 94.2 out of 100. The lowest performing property scored 89, still excellent by industry standards. Consistent excellence across every location, Jennifer confirms. The mandatory training program achieved 99.7% completion rates. Employee feedback overwhelmingly positive. Staff report feeling more confident, better equipped to serve diverse guests. Knowledge eliminates fear, Victoria notes. Fear enables discrimination. The guest feedback algorithm has processed 2.4 million data points. Pattern recognition identified 12 potential issues before they became complaints. All resolved immediately. Technology catches what humans miss, Jennifer adds. The Executive Diversity Oversight Committee has reviewed 342 policies, approved 298, modified 44, and rejected 0. The collaborative approach strengthens rather than restricts operations. Diverse perspectives improve decision-making, Victoria explains. The broader industry impact exceeds all projections. 17 major hotel chains have implemented similar bias monitoring systems. The technology company that developed Sterling software now serves 4,200 properties worldwide. The mystery shopper model has been adopted by restaurants, retail stores, and service companies across multiple industries. Federal legislators introduced the Sterling Standards Act, proposed legislation requiring bias monitoring in companies with federal contracts. Civil rights organizations cite Victoria's approach as the gold standard for corporate accountability. She proved that doing the right thing also makes business sense, the NAACP president stated publicly. The personal transformation has been equally profound. Victoria receives the Corporate Leadership Excellence Award from the National Association of Black Hotel Owners and Operators. Harvard Business School develops a case study around her crisis management approach. Time magazine includes her in their 100 Most Influential People list under the Innovators category. But the recognition that matters most comes from guests. "Thank you for making me feel welcome," reads a handwritten note from a transgender guest. "My grandmother said this was the first hotel where she felt respected," writes a young black professional. "Finally, a company that lives its values," comments a disability rights advocate. The letters arrive daily. Each one validates the difficult decisions made that afternoon 6 months ago. Amanda Johnson's original live stream has been viewed 12.7 million times. She now works as a civil rights documentarian, her life forever changed by witnessing that moment of corporate transformation. "I never expected to see justice happen so quickly," she reflects in interviews. "The financial impact has exceeded all expectations." Sterling Hospitality Group's stock price reached all-time highs within 4 months. Investor confidence soared as discrimination lawsuit risks virtually disappeared. Revenue increases across all properties averaged 28%. Premium customers specifically choose Sterling hotels because of their reputation for inclusive service. "Discrimination prevention is profit protection," Victoria explains to business journalists. The company's valuation increased by $1.8 billion in 6 months. The $2.7 million annual investment in anti-bias programs represents the best return on investment in company history. But the most meaningful changes happen in individual moments. A young black girl walks through the lobby, clutching her father's hand. She sees hotel staff who look like her family. She witnesses respect given freely to everyone. An elderly immigrant couple receives patient assistance despite their limited English. Staff members take extra time to ensure their needs are met. A same-sex couple celebrates their anniversary without sideways glances or whispered comments. Love is simply love. These moments multiply daily across 127 properties. Millions of positive interactions replace the discrimination that once flourished in shadows. Victoria's personal story becomes a teachable moment for an entire generation. Business schools teach the case study. Leadership conferences analyze her decision-making process. Corporate executives study her implementation strategy. The lesson remains simple. Authentic leadership requires courage to confront uncomfortable truths and the determination to create lasting change. 6 months ago, Victoria Sterling experienced the worst of American hospitality. Today, she leads an industry transformation that benefits millions of travelers. The journey from humiliation to revolution demonstrates that individual actions can catalyze systematic change when combined with institutional power and unwavering commitment to justice. Sterling Hospitality Group now represents the gold standard for inclusive service. Other industries study their model. Competitors struggle to match their excellence. Most importantly, real people experience dignity instead of discrimination every single day. Victoria's legacy extends far beyond hotel operations. She proved that corporate leaders can choose justice over convenience, principles over profit, and long-term transformation over short-term comfort. The real-life stories continue multiplying. Black stories of respect instead of rejection. Touching stories of companies that prioritize humanity over prejudice. These stories matter because they inspire others to demand better, to expect equality, to refuse acceptance of discrimination in any form. Your voice matters in this ongoing fight for justice. Have you witnessed discrimination in hotels, restaurants, or other businesses? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could inspire the next corporate transformation. Have you seen companies handle bias complaints well? Tell us about businesses that deserve recognition for inclusive practices. Do you believe systematic change is possible? Subscribe to our channel for more real-life stories that prove justice can prevail when people refuse to accept inequality. Share this video with friends, family, and colleagues. Every share amplifies the message that discrimination has no place in modern business. Together, we can make every public space welcoming for everyone. The revolution begins with individual courage. It succeeds through collective action. What will your contribution be?